Alright, so I think I'm gonna finish this out with timelines and yeah, like I said, anybody want to do any other research, they can do that. I'm like, God, I'm ready to get done with this. I'm ready. I'm ready to get done. I'm ready to be done, get this over with. So, like I said, I can close this book, put it away, and let him do what he do. It's recorded. It is what it is. Now, folks got to come get their receipts to prove that I'm wrong, to prove that I'm lying, to prove that what I'm saying and put forth is not right and exact. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with this, and that'll be on the judge to decide. And the lawyers and whoever else do their research. I'm just laying it out so it'll be easy for people. All right, so I did make a mistake. I fixed it. Right here, I had January 21st, but it's the next year, so it's January 22nd. So that's where we're going to start. January 22nd, I am working for A3B. Like I said, we don't went to the velocity. We don't did all this. Moved to the shelter. So that was actually, all this stuff right here was actually a year ahead. It was in 2022. Okay, so this is what was going on in 2022. I noticed that as I started researching it, I was a year off, and I had to go back and figure out how I messed up. I was a year off. But anyway, 2022 is when all this stuff happened, when I was working, everything was good. It's the best year of my life. And then 2023 came. And I moved to the homeless shelter. I went to, that's where I couldn't remember at the time what shelter I was at. But I was at the, I was at the Atlanta Mission Restoration House. So that's going to be on the next one, I think. Yeah, I was at the Atlanta Mission Restoration House, which is considered the finest. God, please believe God didn't have me out there messed up. He really did. He really did. Even when I went through all this, he didn't. I was never in a messed up situation. Right, the Restoration House is considered the finest. I wish they had pictures in here of it. And I had some pictures, but I can't get into my I can't get into the why am I having such a hard time? I can't get into my Google Drive from my old this is some better looking pictures. I don't know. I wish they had really, really show what the Restoration House on the inside. The rooms are absolutely, it's considered like the highest level, it's best, it's redone, top notch, top quality. uh, each room has a Bible verse on the wall. It's beautiful. It is beautiful on the inside. I wish I could get to my pictures. I cannot. All right, so I left. It was so much going on in the Restoration House. It was more gang stalking. And obviously, I was able to do good at the Restoration House for a couple weeks. They still would find out I was there. It seemed like then here comes in the Blood Gang, the Blood Gang girls. Now they in there, and now you got other people in there, that I was already in there with. We were cool. Now these people turning against me. I don't, then I just became, I don't know, a target. So, I I end up leaving there to go stay with my daughter. She was about to start her job. So we sort of kind of worked something out right there. I got over there. I started feeling unsafe. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was trying to get dough in. Like, it was just a lot. It was a lot going on. My anxiety was already high. I just did not feel safe. So instead, I felt safer at the homeless shelter. I went to Must Ministries. When I went to Must Ministries, it was already chicks there waiting for me there. You know, obviously they had been in place like right after I left the restoration house because they were like 2 weeks ahead of me. And I stayed with my daughter for 2 weeks. So they left like 2 weeks, but there were still people there. In these kind of situations, I don't know if I said this before, but in these kind of situations, what has helped me out is people start talking and people overhear things, and people that really knew like what I was really about would end up telling people. So that helped me at the restoration house. Also at Must Ministries, like when these girls would sit in and sort of kind of attack me and do all this stuff. People that had already sort of kind of peeped me out, knew my vibe, they would sort of kind of end up going telling administration. And next thing I know, I got people watching, looking out for me. So yeah, that's how that stuff happened. Let me see, is there anything else? Oh, well, I was also at the restoration house. No, Must Ministries. A guy showed up at the homeless shelter. I was pointed out to him. He had just been let out of jail. That's why I believe someone in the legal law, somebody who got some power, somebody got some pull, is behind this. You know, because like I said, it's just a lot of things that you got to have some people, you know, I can't, a lot of this big stuff, I'm not, it can't be my dad. You know, treating me like crap, you know, all this stuff, the beneficiary of whatever this is, possibly, but orchestrating and doing a lot of this stuff, no, he has help. He has help from someone who is powerful. My daughter said it. I overheard my daughter saying it. He's got help. They've got help from somebody who has some type of power, some type of pull, which makes me believe it's some type of lawyer because these people did so much and thought they was going to be able to get away with it. So it's definitely giving me lawyer vibes. Um, Again, things get around. People start talking. You know, that's just how, like I said, it's just people start talking. Things get around. So that's what sort of kind of, like I said, has helped me out. Also, while I was at Must Ministries, I had this guy, other guy, and I'm trying to remember, did this happen before they sent this guy or not? I'm thinking possibly so. So, the first guy approaches me. This dude is absolutely crazy nuts out of my. This dude came, looked me dead in the face, and said, "I will kill your motherfucking ass." I'm like, no, I'm just throwed off because there are already people saying that this man is around killing people because they had just found a body of a white lady, um, and he had also attacked this other white lady. They were saying it was this particular dude. I can't remember what they called him, but anyway, had the nerve. He walked up to me, looked me dead in my face, and said, "I will kill your motherfucking ass." I was like, "Oh, for real?" He just kept going. I don't know how many days later, I'm walking from the Must Ministries over to the store that's next door. He on the ground, laid out. I don't know what was wrong with him, but God just told me, walk me over there, and I looked down at him. I don't know why God made me go do that, but I guess He wanted him to know why he was laying down there. The wrong person. He came up again. I don't know what happened to him after that. Um, then in 23, I also went to Richmond to just get away for a while. You know, it's just too much going on. Oh, I gotta tell about the money. I gotta explain how I took care of myself during this time because I know people whoop de whoop. I learned about this is the first time because this is the first time I really did not have any money. This first time I was sort of kind of didn't have, I had a little savings, but that has sort of kind of carried me from November to February when I left Velocity. And that was just because of it just felt very unsafe. That made me feel unsafe to go to work. But anyway, um, so from November to February, it sort of kind of I had a nice little savings, but I ran through that. I still was looking for a job. Nothing was coming through. Um, so this is why I like recording it. This is why I like recording it. Go ahead and talk and record because now I don't know what the world I'm talking about. Uh, oh, Must Ministries. Okay, I'm trying to think because there was so much that happened. The guy that approached me, told me he was going to kill me. The guy that was let out of jail and came directly up there looking for me. Um, oh, my job. So how I was making money, I just really didn't. I learned about plasma. That's where I learned to sell plasma at that time. A lot of people that are homeless, they sell plasma. That's how you get a little money. So you ain't out there having, I wasn't out there having to do whatever people were trying to say. Probably trying to say I was doing. I wasn't. I didn't have to. I was going to sell plasma. I was out there trying to teach the young girls, plasma, poo poo. You know what I'm saying? Go sell a little plasma. So you ain't got to sell your poo poo. Uh, so yeah. Um, that was Must Ministries. Was there anything else in Must? Because Must was really tough. Must was hard. They was applying pressure. They were applying pressure at Must. Um, that's why I ended up having to sort of kind of go to Virginia and just get away for a while. How I got the money because I got a chance to work at a candy store. Another underground, got a little lady at the homeless shelter. She knew somebody, got me on the candy spot. Um, they found out I'm on my way to work up there to the candy spot. I get a phone call. Uh, no, I get a text message phone call telling me I'm no longer needed. Woo woo. Then a few days later, I get a text message somebody telling me, you know, trying to get me hired for the position. Like it was so much confusion going on. There was something going on with that little situation. I felt like somebody called them and told them to let me go. But whoever at that temp agency that did that, they weren't supposed to do that. And then when it was found out, they did try to come back and try to get me hired back on because it was just too much. But by that time, I was already gone. I think I was already gone. So that's how I got the money to go to Virginia. Um, I then end up coming back down here. The guys, when I went to Virginia, guys keep pointing me back down here. Keep pointing me back down here. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want me down here. God point me down here. They don't want me down here. Uh, so came back down here. Got me and guy, I'm like, look, you got me down here. I ain't got no car. I ain't got no job. Like, you gonna have to bring it to me, baby. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have to get it to me. Like, I don't know what to do. Sure enough, I happened to get a job working remotely for you all. Um, that was a complete blessing. So October, November, that's when I started. Now, between that time, November to April, that it had been so much ruckus, them trying to do, just it seemed like my mom and dad were making intentional trips over down here from Brunswick just to make noise, just to try to disrupt, just to make it uncomfortable for me to work. This is how I know this is their MO. Because they done it. You've done it. I've seen you done it. I've seen you do it in person. So you want me to think that you wouldn't pay somebody to do it? Come on now. You've done it yourself. So he then told me in April, I guess when he saw it couldn't cause me to lose my job. And he definitely wasn't going to let me sit there and, come up. He told me I had to leave. I had to move back to Long. They claimed they was fix to fix on the trailer. But you're going to see they really didn't fix on the trailer until a year later. So that wasn't it. He just want me out. Okay. Now in 2024 to 2025, March 2025, I'm in Alonia. My aunt and uncle Troy down there, we doing our thing, so they know, you know, I'm seeing them on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also going through extensive harassment, stalking, spying. I'm doing that because I'm beginning to get heavy traffic. Somebody must know what I'm doing. Uh, Harassment, stalking, and spying, all of that stuff began in Alonia, out in the little apartment complex. You know, now you got people, trying to push people up on me. It's always this thing, it seems like they try to push another female up against me. It's almost like they wanted to push somebody up against me so they can make it look like this person was taking care of me or overseeing. I don't know. I'm just really trying to figure out what was the whole purpose to try to push another female up under me. You know, or like I said, that seemed to be what it was. That's what I felt more so like anything. They were trying to push a female up against me. Then when that sort of kind of didn't work, the little, they tried to push business opportunities up on me that I didn't look for or I wasn't asking for. So those are two things I noticed down there when I was in Lawyer. Like, it just sort of kind of like they were trying to push people up on me, keep, up with my comings and goings, stalking. I'm in the store, people right there where I live at, popping up in the store, saying, it just was weird. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, it's just a lot of weirdness. So, even to my then, the landlord, I believe they'll pay the landlord. You know what I'm saying? I think he was getting paid to arrest him because, it became drilling in the wall. It just came a lot of noise they was trying to make around me trying to work from home. They knew I worked from home. You know what I'm saying? And it seemed like they were trying to make it hard for me to work from home. You know what I'm saying? My internet was getting jammed. I was just having a hard time trying to work. So finally, the pressure started. I felt the guy was like, I just need people to go ahead and get out of here because they had already put this guy next to me that was let out of jail. And I don't know, his energy, his vibe, it was like they were trying to annoy me. He leave his door open, wide open, laid open, stank, like it was just really like, ugh. So I'm like, I don't know what they were trying to do. Then the landlord, they were coming into our apartment to spray once a month. Then they want to come in once a week until I push back on them. I'm like, if you got to come here once, I don't want to live a place. You got to come here and spray for bugs once a week. I don't even see no bugs. I'm like, who out here got bugs that bad? Where you got to come in and spray once a week? So when I push back on that, it just became a lot of pressure. I come out, he done put a whole big gold pile of gravel where I park my car. So I got to go park somewhere different now. Like, just little petty stuff I went through. So I stayed with my aunt, Uncle Troy. There was a big pushback. It was a big old mess about me staying there. You know what I'm saying? That month. They wanted to keep me there. Apply that pressure. It's a whole big mess. Troy at first said it was all good. When me and him was talking, me and Troy by ourselves, he knew what I was going through. It was all good. Then, when everything happened, I got there, somebody started applying pressure on Troy. Then all of a sudden, it wasn't good no more. So, yeah. So I end up, God just helped me past split Jacksonville. That's what I did. Went down there, everything was good, everything was good. I ain't gonna say everything was good. Week 2, a lady moved in. She all over me. She all over me. You know, she like we best friend, you know what I'm saying? She talking like we finna be kicking it, woo the woo, you know. I'm like, you know, public, you know, I already knew what it was. I'm like, So when things didn't go that way, then things flipped. Nice bitterness, nice little petty stuff going on around my little place. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't brought this shit to Jacksonville. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, she wanted other people to have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what she going to tell my other roommates because now they started kind of acting weird. So it was just her in there. She was sitting there, put in there to cause some ruckus up under my roof. So this is where this stuff comes in to be RICO charges, federal. This is what makes this federal RICO charge because they cross state lines doing this. This is why people are terrified because this is RICO level stuff. But all the people that's been paid, all the people that has been paid to stop, harass, foul me, all this stuff, that's why people are nervous. They will continue to be nervous because they know I'm speaking the truth. And they know this is RICO type stuff. Especially if you was paying this gang member. Like this, I don't know. I'm like, God do. I'm just telling my story. So July 25th, that was of last year. That's when I came down here. So it's sort of kind of been from then, I just like, I'm giving up. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? They don't want me to work. You know what I'm saying? God, like, go down now. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to work. Go down now. We're going to sit out of here. Now, all of a sudden, the story is I'm lazy now. I need a job. No, I'm not. I'm gonna stop playing y'all game. I'm stop letting y'all play me. I'm giving y'all a break, so y'all gotta chase me down and try to have me stalked and voodoo, but they still didn't stop because I definitely believe people around here have been paid to keep an eye on me and to try to do little nitty natty things to me. All right, so let me just read this. Unstable back and forth, Scriven still felt like people were being paid to watch my comings and goings, a lot of disruption, almost like people were trying to run me off or something, or try to keep me from working, especially when they see me outside of the laptop. Things did shift a week, a couple months ago. Something sort of kind of, I don't know, somebody must have told somebody, hey, I been making money through this time by door dashing. You know what I'm saying? Lamar been pretty much covering the bills, but my personal money, my vices, is based on, you know, I had to get in some food stamps to eat. And also, I DoorDashed a little bit. I also had to drain all my retirement accounts. And it seemed like when I got down to my last dollar, it seemed like my brother left. I've been left for dead. Once I got down to my last dollar, I've been left for dead. But instead of dying and rolling over, I gotta stand up and speak the truth. Because I see these people have no problem leaving me for dead. And another thing God told me today too. It's gonna be very important when all this switch over, when all this go how it's supposed to be. I just want people to keep that same energy. That's what God said. Because God know my heart. God know that the people that done stabbed me in the back and done all this to me, I was still, because of love in my heart, I would still turn around and give to these people. But he told me, make everybody keep their same energy. If they ain't effing with you now, they shouldn't F with you when you get a bag. If they ain't calling you now, they shouldn't be calling you when you get a bag. If they give you your ass to kiss now, they should give you your ass to kiss when you get a bag. If they treat you like a nigga in the street now, they should treat you like a nigga in the street when you get your bag. So that's what God has drilled into me. I think he brought me down here for me to really just see everything, see everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just really see how people felt about me for real, for real. So I have no problem with that. I just want people to keep that same energy. You feel me? That's it. You know, if you help me a lot, I'm going to help you a lot. If you help me a little bit, I'm gonna help you a little bit. That's how it's gotta go. It's gotta be fair. It's gotta be equal. It's gotta be balanced. That's what God said.